hope everybody's well. We are a bit early, so we'll let everybody get logged in and stuff like that. It is crazy windy out here today, so your view and your sound might not be the best. We've had to change the tripod that we normally use because it was getting blown over, so we've had to go with like a little bit of a wider base, lower one. We've also, obviously with it being so windy and us being out here at Curzon, as you all know from our sessions, it's so cold and it's so windy out here. It is very loud as well, so I'll try my very best. Sorry, just tie my shoes. Try my very best to stay as close to the camera as possible. Might even try and do a little bit of moving around with the camera at some point, just so we can try and get a little bit of a better view of what's going on and things like that. Can't have that. No. There we go. So loads of people jumping on now. So like I said, we are a little bit early. It's still not quite 12 o'clock. So I'll let the people come online who are coming on. Esme, sorry, I'll have a little run through. Shout out to people. Layla's here. Who've we got there? Edwards in. Tommy, Eden, Elliot, Ollie, Lewis, Esme, Alex is here, Stanley's here, and Azza as well. Loads more as well. I did bowler yet. Robson's in now. Morning, morning still. Just Nyron's in. Kean's in. The Corinthians boys are turning. Oh, just turn that round. Don't know how I've done that. There we go. Okay, Lucas is here, one of our goalies too. I'm like super close to the camera me today. So I will just start showing you. Like I said, it's not as good of a view as we normally have because we're a bit lower down to the ground to make sure that this tripod doesn't fall over. But you can see there, I'll try and lift it up so you can see a bit better. We've got like the diamond set up there. Okay, so with our diamond setup, we've put them first cone about 12 steps away from the furthest one, and then 12 across as well, and then one right slap bang in the middle too. Okay, that didn't work very well, did it? Me picking it up like that. All right, so you sort of seen how we set up. Okay, you sort of seen how we're trying to do things. Okay, so if you want to get that setup done, it is a little bit different to normal. All right, don't forget as well that today's session is sponsored by Emma and Simon, whose son Woody comes training with ESSP. They have a business called Sweet Tooth where you can order sweets and like pizza boxes full of sweets and all different things. Okay, so if you want to be in with the chance to win the competition today, you need to have liked their page, to have checked in with us here this morning, and then also, as we did last week, take a photograph of you taking part in the session today. Okay, when you've taken that photograph of you taking part in the session, send it over to us either on the inboxes on Instagram or Facebook, or straight to us on WhatsApp, and we will select at random, like Mike did last week from the Grassroots Football Store. Select at random one of those pictures and one of those entries to win the prizes. There's 3 prizes up for grabs today, so loads and loads of stuff to win. So make sure you take them pictures, send them in to us. Theo was last week's winner. Theo got the rebounder board from Grassroots Football Store. We dropped it, he got it delivered to him the other day, so he's getting good use of that. I'll give everyone a couple of minutes again, so if you just have a little look at that setup again. I'll try and do it again when we lift it up. Not that I'm very good at this, am I? Like David Bailey. Okay, so that's your little setup today, your little diamond shaped setup. Okay, try and get, if you can, about 12 yards in between that first and the second cone, or it's that first and the third cone. One slap bang in the middle, and then the same across the other way. Brocky, I could do with you down here today. It's that windy, mate. Everything's blowing over and stuff like that, so we've had to change tripods. So like I said, if the view's not quite as good, not much we can do about that, because we wanted to make sure that it didn't fall over all the time and stuff like that. So as we worked on the other week, it's going to be the same type setup for the session. 3 SAQ movements first, okay, then into 3 ball mastery sets, okay, then into a set of 3 technical skill movements. All right, so our SAQ movements to start off with, as we said, 3 for 1 minute. All right, and if you have a little watch now, I'm going to show you first. We've got 5 cones marked out there, and basically all we're going to do is try and work at the 5 cones as fast as possible in the time, with your body always facing the front. Luca controls, in fact, so if you always start at the first cone, okay, so Luca's going down to the first cone now. If he's working forwards towards the camera, okay, he'll work on a run. If he's working sideways, he'll work laterally out to the side. As he comes back into the middle, he can decide where he wants to go from there. So if he wants to come forward, he works out forwards but drops back, because his face always has to stay facing the camera. He works across laterally, always back to the middle again, okay, into the centre. Then he might drop out again, so he's gone backwards to drop out, and he comes forwards back in. Okay, so basically all you've got to keep doing is keep that body facing forwards all the time. Rio and George are online there, the Stoke boys. Darren, if they played today, let us know if they played, let us know the score. So like I said, we're going to get working for a minute. That's our first exercise, so I'll give you a minute if you need to change anything in yourself. Now obviously guys, not everybody has this amount of space that we've got. We've got a full pitch here today at Curzon, okay. We've tried to keep it as small as possible, and keep that space as tight as possible. But use whatever you've got. I know some people last week did it inside the houses. It's freezing cold today. People might not want to be outside in the garden. Whatever the distance is that you're working is pretty much irrelevant, because it's the time that you're working for. So if your energy and your tempo is high throughout that minute, it doesn't matter whether you're working over 5 steps or working over 25 steps. Yeah, you're still going to be putting a big amount of effort into your session. So if we're going to get ourselves started, Sam's here with us now, Sammy P as well. I'm going to flip round the other side so my finger stops getting in the way of the screen. Alright, so you can see Luca back in there. Alright, that's where he's working from. Played Burnley's under 12s and lost 3-2. George, Rio, unlucky boys. CJ as well, if you was involved in the game today, unlucky. So that's our setup. Remember what we said, body always facing forward. Quick, fast contact on the floor, drive out. If you're going backwards, it's backwards. If we're going sideways, we work side to side, okay? So, if we're ready to work, we've got a minute in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So remember what we said, work as fast as we can. This is supposed to be hard work. Fantastic, Rio, good result from you there against Wolves, 1-5-2. Good stuff. So remember, body always facing forward. Look at them, quick, fast, sharp contact on the floor. If we make a little mistake by touching cones, just leave it, ignore it and work again. Okay, I'll sort that out for Luca. Okay. You can see that I'm moving like an old man. It's because I went on a big walk yesterday. I can barely move. The Sewell boys are in there, great stuff. Elijah's in as well, quality stuff. Okay, if you're just joining us now, don't worry, it's the first exercise. Okay, so you just missed this one out. We've got another 10 seconds to go. Keep that work rate nice and high. 3, 2, 1, and a breather there. Great stuff. Okay, good start. From everybody. So now our second exercise on our SAQ. So like I said, if you've just joined us now, don't worry about missing that first one, just get straight involved. The second exercise, we're going to work on a high knee slide, okay? So from the outside cone, okay, we're just going to work across those middle 3 cones, okay? So nice high knees as Luca's going to work across. When he gets to the outside, he's going to pause and balance on that left foot. So he's going to pause there, hold it, and then he works across. Nice driving high knees. And when he gets to the outside, a little pause. Now that also, as well as working on our SAQs, works on our ABCs, our balance, coordination, and our agility, okay? So that balance and coordination is super important when you're playing in football, and also that power. If we just change that a little bit now for what Luca did when he gets to the outside now, watch how he springs off that left foot and tries to get a big distance across the area. So as he comes across there, he's coming all the way over. He pauses on that left foot and push back into the area. Watch again, so he pauses there and push. Nice big spring back into the middle. Works on our power as well. So if we get ourselves set up ready to work, remember, we're trying to get those knees as high as possible when we're working. This is going to be difficult because you're putting in maximum effort here, okay, to try and get your feet working, to try and drive your knees as high as possible. Remember guys, we need pictures for everybody at the session, and if you can go in the bottom, where is it, bottom left hand side, I think we are there, and hit the share button as well. That just gets these out to more people, okay? So likes and shares and stuff like that, that'd be great. So if we're ready to work, in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So nice driving high knees, really push them up into the stomach. Robson, good lad. Ace and Dylan are in with us. Remember that nice big leap back into the middle if we can, from the outside, push and get across. Brilliant from Luca there. Real good, nice strong power. Oliver's with us. Jacob having a lie-in, Steve. Keep our work rate nice and high. Good stuff. Try and stick to a nice high tempo as well. Again guys, I'm getting loads and loads of messages and WhatsApps off people. If we can hold them to the end of the session, it's not a problem at this end, but I've got a feeling it might like buzz on the screen and stuff like that if people are watching, might distract them. Last 10 seconds now. Jacob on the bench. And relax there. Great stuff. Dylan from Colne, all the way from Colne. Good morning, buddy. I hope you're working, or good afternoon now. I hope you're working nice and hard. Keep up your good efforts, buddy. So, our last SAQ part of the session. Again, we always do this third one as a nice bit of a blower, okay? So it's going to be hard work. So Luke is going to start from cone number 1. Okay, and he's at cone number 1. He's going to work on a sprint out to cone number 3. He's going to work on a reverse sprint out to the side, going backwards, and then that last little section back to number 1 is a recovery, so he can go nice and slow. So if we watch, it's a full sprint out to the top, sharp as he can out to the outside, and then just slow it right down into that. Then he's going to work the opposite way. So he comes out nice and fast sprint, as fast as he can to recover in there, and then just relax on his way back in. Okay, last little like that demonstration, because people are just joining as we work out. Full sprint on the way out, sharp as possible, accelerate back in there, and then relax on your way back. Make sure that first initial little movement back to the outside is a sharp movement. We want to see how quickly we can change direction, twist and turn. Very much a football-like movement this, okay? If you think like a defender coming out to attack the ball, or a striker trying to lose his player, okay, we're trying to relate the movements to football stuff, football practices. This is very much a football-like movement. So, we've got a minute to work in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, off we go, nice and fast. Parents, don't forget, and this is for our newcomers as well, make sure that we're taking those photos if you want to be in with a chance of winning today's prize, a fantastic prize from our friends at Sweet Tooth. Okay, good one for the family actually, mums and dads. Pizza box full of sweets, all the good old sweets as well, proper sweets, cola cubes and stuff like that. Okay, keep working hard. We're about halfway through our time. Like we said, keep that tempo high. This is going to be difficult. There is a lot of movement in here. There's a lot of running taking place. Okay, make sure that we're pushing as hard as possible. Oscar's here with us. Oscar, good to see you, but he's got a good kit on. Send us a picture in your kit, Oscar. Oscar's a renowned winner of our Kit of the Week competition at our Friday skills sessions. 5 seconds left. Let's get at least one more rep in there. Nice sharp tempo. And relax there. Well done. Get yourselves a drink. Get a quick breather. That's your first section of the session done. And we need to get our ball out for the next part. Okay. So, next part of the session, we are working into our ball mastery part of the session. Now, all the ball mastery part of the session is going to work in front of your first cone. Okay, so we're not going to use any of the cones for this. It's just open space. Okay, so if you want to throw your cones out the way for a minute, you can do. Obviously, you can leave them where they are even better, because you'll have a bit more time. You'll have a bit less to do after the end of this session, because we are going to use them in our next section of the live as well. Okay. So all the things that we're going to do now are going to work towards 3 touches of the ball, okay? 3 touches of the ball with a ball mastery movement to bring the ball back across our body to the other side. So it's always going to stick in that little repetitive movement. So we always understand that we've got to do the same thing over and over and over again, okay? So what we're going to do, work for 3 touches, okay, and then we're going to work with a rollover, all right? So really simple. All the touches are going to be with the outside of our boots. So if you're watching Luca, he's just going to go in front of that first cone there. So that can be his space that he's going to work in. He's got plenty of space there. So yeah. So he's just going to work outside of his foot for 3 touches. He goes 1, 2, 3, and roll over across to the other outside, and then he goes 1, 2, 3 there. So roll straight to the outside. You can touch if he wants. Good. Roll across, touch, and then outside, 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 roll across, outside, 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 roll across. Now, if we're going to make that more difficult for our older players, so if you're in under 6, under 7, under 8, possibly even under 9, okay, that's what we're going to be looking for. That touch, 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 roll over with the studs of the boots over to the other foot, touch, 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 and all those little touches with the outside of the boot. If you want to stop the ball in the centre like Luca did, that's fine. Before you move on to your next movement the opposite way, that's not a problem. Now, if we're going to make that a little bit more difficult, as I go out to the outside, and I've done my 3 touches, I'll just hold that just in case, yeah. Okay? As I do my 3 touches, I've gone 1, 2, 3 across. If we want to make this more difficult now, I can go roll, scissor, touch, 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 roll, same foot, scissor, 1, 2, 3, roll, scissor, 1, 2, 3, roll, scissor, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's like probably going to be looking at our more advanced players, alright, because it's really difficult. So Luca will just show you quickly those 2 things again. So if we're going just with the outside of the foot, it's 1, 2, 3, roll. 1, 2, 3, roll. 1, 2, 3, roll. 1, 2, 3, roll. Or for our more advanced players, at 1, 2, 3, roll, scissor as we come back across. Okay, so we're just flipping that foot around the ball there. Good. Exaggerate that movement. So go across, roll it, step it, and move across. Yeah, do we understand? Really difficult stuff. Reese, hey mate, we go from around 5 years old, so in school really, pal, but give me a message and we'll have a chat with it. Okay, do you want to move that first cone back just so you've got a bit more room? Just put it on top and then we'll do it in a bit, yeah? Alright, so if you want to move that first cone out your way just so you've got a bit more room, you can do. So we're going to get going for a minute. Decide which section you're going to do. Again, like we said last week, I'm just looking at my screen here. Oscar, who isn't under 7 but an absolutely fantastic football player. Push yourself to do the more difficult one, buddy. Okay, Jonesy's in as well. Good morning, Jonesy. Alright, so we've got 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So it's 1, 2, 3. Roll in there. Get to work nice and fast, okay? Remember, when we work on our ball mastery sessions, we always ensure that that ball stays close to our feet. We're maximising our touches on the ball, okay? Try and be as creative as you can. So if you can bring in that little step over in, the little scissor in there too, that's what we're looking for in this one. Each one of these ball mastery exercises will have a little bit more of an advanced element to them as well, okay? If you get a little bit further out your position, just get the ball back to your start position and reset, because in a minute you are going to make mistakes at this, but what's important is when we do make a mistake, we just recover it, we get straight back to work and we don't wait too long in between sulking and moaning about it, okay? Alfie, good afternoon, buddy. Keep saying good morning all the time. Alf, make sure you get your mum to enter you in the competition by taking a picture as well. Get us a picture sent over your work. Good stuff. And relaxing there. Well done, okay. So again, like we said, as we work now, we're going to work to exactly the same pattern as we did before. Afternoon loop, okay. Exactly the same pattern, 3 touches of the ball and a way that we're going to bring that ball across our body. So, if I swap over with Luca a second now. So, our 3 touches again, and this time we are going to work on our V touch, okay, to bring the ball back, our V cut, okay. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and for our younger players, we go stud to the boot, bringing the ball back to the outside. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do 4 now, because the V-cut is complete when you've used the outside of the foot to take it across. So we're going to go 4, and we go 1, 2 on your V-cut, 1, 2, 3. Drag back, push across. 1, 2, 3. Drag back, push. 1, 2, 3. In there. For our older players now, we are going to change that V-cut to working behind our standing leg. So as we work now, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. The V-cut is with the same foot. Drag back, push, outside. That completes the V. Then you work 3. 1, 2, 3. Slow it down again. You come back, behind, push. 1, 2, 3. Come back, behind, push across. And get to work in there, okay? So difficult and very technical movements now. There's a lot of touches in a small space. So if we watch again, someone like, I'm just looking at the screen, Lewis, Alfie, top football players, okay? You should be really pushing yourselves now to get that V-cut on your next touch on the ball as fast as you can. It should be bang, bang, bang. There should be no time in between. So if you watch as Luca works now, he shows you the simple one first, put in there. So he works 3, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you're noticing there the time in between his touches of the ball is very, very small. Now, if you relate that to a game, if you're playing in a match and the time between your touches are very big, that's just all opportunity for people to come and take the ball from you. And especially when we're working on this technical aspect of the game, which is pretty much all we can do at the minute, our fitness and our technical side, okay? The more touches of the ball you take, the more comfortable you become and the more confident you become. If we watch Luca again on the more difficult one, with the behind the leg V-cut, as we come in, he goes 1, 2, 3, okay? 1, and then he goes 1 in there, 1, 2, 3. So look how quickly he gets in the 1, 2, 3 there, okay? There's no time in between them touches, brilliant. Okay, so decide which one you're going to do, and as well, if you're doing maybe the more basic element of what we're trying now, and you're finding it that it's quite comfortable, then halfway through switch it up, okay? Make a decision that you can move on to the next one and switch it up. So we've got 5 seconds till we work. 3, 2, 1, off we go, play. Richard, we're about halfway through the session now, okay, buddy? Normally around between 35 and 45 minutes, pal. Keep the tempo nice and high, keep that ball close, don't let the ball get far away from your feet. Remember, we don't want to be chasing after the ball recovering, so small, sharp, fast touches at our feet. As I said, if you want to reset and get back to your start position, that's absolutely fine. But make sure that when we do that, we get back in as quick as possible and we get going again. Last few seconds. And relax there, great stuff. Okay, we'll swap over again for the last one of our ball mastery section. As we work now, we are going to work on a step over. Okay, so we're going to work out, it's going to be opposite feet step overs, alright? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 touches with our left foot, bring our right foot over, which will take us there. Touch to complete the step over, then 3. 1, 2, 3. Over, touch, 1, 2, 3. Over, touch, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now as you work though, if we're going to make this even more difficult, now this is very hard. This is really difficult, okay? So as we work this time, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, scissor, step over, touch. Which is very, very difficult, okay? So as you work again, watch one more time. For our older players, if we're going to really challenge ourselves, we work out 1, 2, 3. Same foot scissor, other foot step over, take away. 1, 2, 3, scissor step, over, hey, scissor, step, and over into the other side. Okay, even I made a mistake there, and I know I'm the one telling you what to do. Okay, very, very technical and very, very difficult, that final one. Just one sec. Guys, in there are people requesting to come in on the videos. We can't do that just yet. Okay, so if you watch again, that more basic one first, the opposite foot step over. So go outside, 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 step with the opposite foot, brings you back onto the other side. Remember, the step over is not finished until you've touched it with the outside of the foot. So you start doing 4 outside the foot touches now. If we go back in there to the more difficult one now, she's really technical, really tough. Again, just looking at my screen, Lewis's name's still on there. Lewis should be working towards this. As we work, we go touch, 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 scissor, same foot, step over, opposite foot, work across. So it's scissor, step in there. And like what Luca did as well, okay, shows that little bit of disguise, makes me believe that he's actually going to pass or strike the ball. Okay, so we're ready to work. Final minute of our ball mastery work now. In 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, off we go, play. So ball as tight to your feet as you can. Guys, don't forget to be adding in your, taking your pictures so you can enter the competition. Chance to win with Sweet Tooth today. 15 seconds gone. Maximise them touches on the ball, get them as tight to your feet as you can. Just small little pushes, tap, 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 tap. Work them feet around as quick as you can. Yeah, nice, sharp, quick movements around the ball. We're over halfway of our time now. 15 seconds left. Come on, keep working hard. Three, 2, 1, and relax there. Fantastic work, guys. Okay, just as Luca gets himself a quick drink, I'm just going to put that first cone back in position. Okay, and now we're going to work into our technical part of the session, which today is going to be working on skills. Okay, this is where we're going to use this diamond, okay, this diamond SAQ, because our skill is always going to be done at the center cone. Okay, we're going to go from the outside, dribble into the center cone, use a skill at the center cone to get out to one of the cones on the outside. Once we get around that cone, we accelerate either left or right to the next cone and then repeat. Sounds quite difficult. It is really, really easy. We did a very similar practice on the lockdown sessions back in the summertime. Okay, our first skill that we're going to use, our first skill that we're going to use is the chop, or the Ronaldo style chop, okay, in behind our standing leg with a jump. So we all know this one. As we're moving with the ball, we move it from right to left or left to right as normal. We travel with the ball and it's that little skip and push in behind our standing leg, okay? Doesn't work out. It's that little jump to get this standing foot out of the way. And as we do it, we snap that ball back across to the other side of our body. So what Luca's going to show you now, he's going to start from the end cone down at the bottom to start off with. Just move that. As he starts in there, he's going to attack the middle cone. He's going to use a chop at the middle cone to take him to the outside, and then he's going to accelerate around that one, into stopping there, up to the top and then going. Yeah, so watch one more time. My fault that I didn't tell him that properly. Yeah. So if he starts from the bottom, we've got to do 2 cones on the outside. So it's chop out, get around 2. So there's 1, there's 2, then he can rest. Then he goes in again and repeats. So he works in, chop, he's gone left side this time. Accelerates out. Okay, and as we speak about that importance of that acceleration when we're playing in a game, if you've done a skill, you've done a skill to try and get yourself away from danger, get yourself away from a player. If after the skill you slow down, then all your good work will be unravelled because you're not accelerating off from the player, you're not getting away from the danger. Okay, so the idea of what we're looking for here is to try and replicate what we do in our sessions normally, but also try and replicate what good practice is in a game. Okay, so as Luca goes in one more time, travels in, gets that chop in, accelerates round the 1 and the 2, and then he can put his foot on the ball and he works again. Okay, so he goes in, he's gone that way that time, nice and sharp, gets in, gets round, into that tight position in there. Now remember what we've just worked on with our ball mastery work. The ball should be staying tight to your feet at all time. If you're taking big touches and chasing after the football, it's not really what we want to see, okay? So get that ball tight to your feet. Remember, parents, we need pictures, videos. These are good ones to get in so I can see what they're doing wrong. And then if anybody needs any help, you can just ask, and I'll try and get back to you today and tell you what we can change and make little tweaks you can make to your game. So this is our first minute. Now, just for our more advanced players, if you want to make this more difficult, the way that you're going to do this is by the touch before your skill, it being a roll with the sole of the foot. Okay, so if you watch Luca now as he travels in, as he took the touch there, it's a roll, then chop. Okay, really, really difficult. Okay, so if you want to really push yourself now and you want to make this as hard as you possibly can for yourself, then can you, on your final touch of your dribble before your skill at that centre cone, make it a little roll with the studs or roll with the sole of your foot and snap that ball away with the next touch. So 5 seconds till we go. 3, 2, 1, off we go, play nice and sharp. Good, great feet there from Luca. Quality skills, quality feet. Good. So we're getting that little roll chop in there, which is good to see. Again, if we make mistakes, make sure we bounce back straight into the session. Sorry if the sound's a bit bad as well, guys. I don't know obviously what you're hearing at the other side, but it's so windy here. Okay, let me know if the sound's fine in the comments. All right, if you can still hear us nice and clear. Good stuff. Keep that tempo nice and high. We've got about 25 seconds left. Good feet in there. Seriously good feet from Luca there. 10 seconds to play. Keep the tempo nice and high. I'm hoping people can hear us because I didn't have any replies there and there's loads of you still online, so I'm hoping people can hear what we're saying. And stop in there. Good stuff. Great work. Okay, sounds fine. Good, cheers. Nice one, Brocky. And someone's just texted me as well to say it's fine, so that's good. Right. Our second skill is that step over. Okay, so if Luca just comes out to the front first, mate, just to show us that step over again. That big swivel of the hips to come around the ball there and push with the same foot out to the outside. Now again, Emma, thanks guys. Stevie, nice one, mate. Alison, thank you. Same again, if you want to increase that difficulty, that touch before can just be that little roll into the step over. Very difficult, that, but it is what we've just worked on there, okay, in our session before. So always try and link the things together, okay, so we can try and get that little roll over in there as well. I know Junior there has just commented on this. Junior's dad's just commented on the video. Junior, absolute magician with the ball at his feet. So Junior, you should be trying to push yourself to get that little roll over in before you step over, okay? So if we watch Luca just for a little demo, but it's exactly the same practice how we use all 5 cones again, okay? As you work out there, it comes in, it's that step over, push away, and get around the 2, okay? Good stuff. So that's how we're going to work. So he's gone back into the start. As he goes back in there, one thing I have forgot to say to you, okay, and which is really, really, really important. If you watch Luca as he works and watch the things that we was doing before, you'll notice that we've probably done it without saying it because we know it's what should be done. We always make sure that we alternate the sides of our body that we work on. So before Luca, without even thinking it, just because he knows that that's what we should be working on and that's what we should be practicing, as he came out, he did a right foot chop, and the next time he did a left foot chop, okay? Make sure we're getting that, that variation in what we do, just to ensure that we're practicing on both sides and we're trying to improve on both sides as well. So make sure you're having a go at things on both feet. Listen, you're going to make mistakes. Luca in there doesn't make many mistakes. If I went in there and tried to roll over into a scissor with my left foot, it's likely that I would make a mistake. Sorry, roll over into a step over. So if we're ready to work, making sure we're trying to work hard on both sides of our body. We are going to go in 5 seconds from now. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So it's that little roll over, step over if you can. If not, we're just going for the step over. Nice fast feet. Alternate your sides if you can. Keep the ball nice and close. Well, a good tip about using a balance, yeah, good, definitely important. A little analogy we like to use at our ESSP sessions with players sometimes is every player has an Xbox. I think we touched on this in the last live session. Every player has an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Switch, whatever they have there, and they all use the left hand when they're playing on them games without even thinking about it. Now, the reason for that is because they've practiced doing it. All right, so if you practice on your left foot, all right, eventually, or your weak foot, so I shouldn't just say that, we've got lots of lefties in this group. If you practice on your weaker foot, eventually you'll become better at it and it will become second nature, like holding your Xbox controller or your PlayStation pad, whatever it is. Good stuff, mate. I'm relaxing there. Great stuff. Okay. And our final skill now is the double scissor. Okay. So we worked on the single scissor before. Luca just walks out towards us. He will show us that little double scissor. Now remember, with a double scissor, the first foot that goes around the ball will be the foot that you take the ball away with. We never go with the same foot as the final scissor. That sounds quite complicated, but it's really simple. So if you watch, it's gone right, left, which means we take away right. Okay? If he goes left foot first, we must take away left. The reason for that is if he shows you the wrong way around, so if he goes left, right, take, 1, 2, in there, and we go the same direction, that means that if we've done our scissor effectively, we will have dropped the defender that way, and then we'll be taking the ball to where the defender would be. Okay, so we want to try and get away from the defender by dropping shoulders, getting in different directions. So if you have a little watch, again, if he wants to throw that little rollover in, we can do, but remember now, this might be even more difficult to get the rollover in because you're making 2 changes of direction with your body. If we had the rollover, that's 3 in one movement, which is so tough, but there's people in this group that can do that. Okay, so if we have a little watch, he's moved in there, so he's gone early with the rollover then, which is great. Okay, works around, same again, early with a rollover, great feet, gets away. Watch one more time. Good stuff, and we're relaxing there, great stuff. Okay, so back to the start, we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Let's see how quickly we can roll them 2 feet over the ball. Luke is getting a bit leggy now, I think. Hard work this, okay. Making sure we're really whipping them feet round. Remember what we spoke about last week when we just did just a skill on its own? Can we drop that shoulder in? Okay, if we drop the shoulder in, it's likely that the defender buys that little movement even more. So we're whipping them double scissors in. So we get that 1, 2, and then we get away. Good stuff. Keep the tempo nice and high with how we're working. We've got about 20 seconds till lap 1 of the session is done, then we're working back through on the 3. Parents, don't forget to get them pictures over to me. I've had loads so far on WhatsApp, but if you want to inbox them to the pages, you can do as well. And stop there. Great work. Okay, now's your time for a little drink. Get yourself a breather. All right, as I explain what we do now. So there's some people that are on here for the first time today. Some people that have done loads of these, but now how we work is we go back through the session, we repeat all the things, but we only do it in 30-second stints. Okay, so we've been doing a minute, but instead of just doing 30 and rest, we now try and do 30 seconds straight into the next one, 30 seconds straight into the next one, then break. So it's actually a minute and a half's work. Okay, Ellis is with us as well. Good afternoon, El. All right, so as we said at the very start, or as we did at the very start, sorry, SAQ movements first. So we do that little in and out movement. Don't know what happened there. Let me know in there if you can still see us and we're still on with you. Got a message off Facebook. I think Zuckerberg's trying to shut me down there. Okay, so we work through there. Let us know in the comments, guys, if you're still on. It still says loads of people are online, so I presume everybody can still see us. It paused for a second there. Yeah, Alex has just let us know we're still good, so we're good to go. So working back through that session, so if Luca quickly runs over and shows you how we're going to work. The first one was that body facing the camera at all time. Okay, body facing forward, then us working to all 5 parts. So as we come flying out there, good. We work across and we go sideways if we're going across. If we come forwards, we've got to drop backwards on our movement. And it's that quick contact. That's number 1. Number 2 was a lateral high knee slide, with our pause and push on the outside. So as we work across our knees, the idea behind what we will do now is run through that second set like I was explaining before. I think we got that far on it. I don't know at what point it went off or anything like that. Work through the first 3 activities in the SAQ, then we'll go back in there for that next part. Like I said, if you give us a share, hit the share button, even better, so people might be able to see. We're probably about half of the people that have left came back on now, but like I said, nothing we can do about it. It's just unfortunate. I suppose that is I guess that is a sign of the times and stuff like that with us having to do it like this. Not very good on the old tech side of things myself. So if we just quickly run you through that again, our first exercise for 30 seconds is the out and in. So we're going to work out as fast as we can into the middle, work across, and then we work back in, and then we work forwards again. Our second one is from the outside, working across the area. Okay, so we work high knees across, and then we pause and push from the outside and get ourselves back into the area. And then our final one is a sprint from the back, and we work out across the outside. Good stuff. Okay, so like I said, guys, sorry about that before. I have no idea what went on there. Quite a lot of us back in anyway. Like I said, if you give it a share, likelihood is people will see it. I don't know if people now will not know if it's come back on or it's looking a bit different on the page. I'll tidy it all up when we finish, but we're going to crack on because we want to keep making sure that everyone's getting to work. So if we work our first 30 seconds, we're going to go in 5 seconds from now. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off we go work. So we're working out nice and sharp and get across as quick as we can. People flooding back in now, I think, as well. Drop us a message if you're coming in. Don't forget to get them photos over to us, guys, as well. That's 15 seconds of your time worked. Yeah, plenty of people back in now. Apologies for that, guys. No ideas what happened. And final 5 seconds. Remember, there's no break on this. We're going to go straight into the other one. So stop there. So if you get yourself to the outside cone, and we're going to work on them high knee across slides now. James is back in and we're back on. So we're good to go. Okay, 3, 2, 1, off we go work. Nice high knees working across. We get that pause and push on the outside. Nice explosion back into the middle. For people just joining us back now and all these people coming in, apologies for what happened there. I have no idea why it went off. It just came up with a message to say that Facebook are experiencing difficulties. Great work. We've got 10 to go. And pause there and into that cone number 1 now. I'm going to try and go straight away. Remember, it's that explosive sprint to the top end of the area, then we work backtrack out to the outside. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So nice fast explosion, sharp out, and then that little breather if you need it in there. Okay, same again, working nice and fast out. Good stuff, guys. 10 seconds left to work. 5 left. That's high energy from everybody still, please. And relax there. Good stuff. Okay, now remember as we work in, we get that football out now. So our first ball mastery exercise was with the rollover. Okay. Remember what we said, for our more advanced players, we can throw that step over into. Alright, so as we work across, it's the outside of the boot, 3 touches with the outside of the boot, and that little roll over to bring it back across. So if you're watching Luke, it's 1, 2, 3, roll over. But as we said, if you want to make it more difficult, we can throw that scissor in as well. So as we work across, it's 1, 2, 3, and we go with this roll over scissor. Okay, so it's roll over then scissor first. Secondly, okay, will be our V cut. Remember, it was right over to left or left over to right, or for our more advanced players, we work behind the standing leg. And then our final one was that step over, okay, and on the outside we threw, to make it more difficult, on the outside we threw that scissor in as well. So our first one was with the roll over, 3 touches, roll over and work across. If we can make it more difficult for ourselves, it's that roll over into scissor, okay, as we work across. So 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Nice fast work. Good. Nothing, I know Brocky, there's nothing I could do about that, mate. It just went off. Not ideal. But I guess that's the downside of us not being able to be out on the pitch, I guess. 5 left to go. And relax there. Great work. So our second one, remember now, as you work across, is that V-cut. So it's that studs of the ball rolls back to the other foot and push with the outside. Or we go behind the standing leg and get the little push in. So 3, 2, 1, off we go. Play nice and sharp. Good, good. Quick across your body. Nice tight control, don't let the ball get far away from you. First, don't forget, still all in with a chance of winning these prizes to get them into us. 5 seconds left to go and pictures over. And relax there, great work. And our final one is that step over on the outside. So touch, 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 step over with the opposite foot. And if we want to make it even more difficult, we can go same foot scissor, then step over with the opposite foot, okay? So just a little bit like that there, okay, so shift across the ball. So, if we're ready, in 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1, off we go, work. Nice and sharp now. Ten seconds gone, guys. Keep pushing, we've only got a minute and a half of the session left after this one. Last 10 seconds of this section. And relax there, well done. Quick drink if you need a quick drink. Before we go into the last minute and a half of our session, we know that that last minute and a half goes where we work on the shoulders, okay, in that central bone area. Our first one being the chop. Okay, so we make that little Ronaldo chop movement, that jump across our body. Our second skill was a step over, and our third skill was a double scissor. Okay, but as we work in there, we can increase the difficulty of that skill by throwing that roll over in first, okay, like we spoke about before. So if we're all watching Luca, that first one, if we just give a little demo of the scissor. Okay, he's going roll, chop. He's going roll with the chop as well, okay? So roll, chop, or you can just do the chop on its own. Remember, after we've done that, we accelerate around the 2 cones on the outside. So, if we're ready to play. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. Nice fast feet, make sure we get that acceleration afterwards. Keep the tempo nice and high. Five to go. And relax there. Great stuff into the end. As you work this time, it's like explosion into the middle, nice and fast. With the step over in the center, get out to the outside and accelerate away in that little roll over on your step over if you can. 3, 2, 1, off we go, play. And what we said about keeping that ball nice and tight to your body, don't let the ball get far away. Into the last 5 seconds now. And relax there, great stuff. And final one, this guys, now let's ramp the quality up in what we're doing and really push ourselves. Double scissor on our way in, okay, and get ourselves out and away as fast as we can. Really push now to get this working, okay. Last 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Keep that quality high even though the tempo's high and you're tired. Making sure we're not letting that ball get far away from our feet. Really whip them feet around the ball on your double scissor, make it a big obvious movement what you're doing. Into our last 10 seconds now, guys. Hard work, come on. And stop there. Well done, guys. Get yourselves a drink, have a breather. Okay, well done. All right. Great work for everyone today. Obviously not ideal that we got booted off halfway through. I think we lost about 30 people from the session, okay, or 30 people who was online anyway. Like I said, not ideal, but absolutely nothing we can do about that, okay. It came up on the screen saying that Facebook was having technical difficulties and your stream will be paused, so don't know what we can do about that. All right, but well done. It was great work for everybody that took part. Fantastic session yet again. Remember to send us over your pictures of you taking part in the session. We will do the draw for the 3 prizes that we've been given by Sweet Tooth this evening, probably before the England game. Okay, we'll do that before England play, so probably around 7:30, something like that. As I spoke to you all about in the week, remember that there are ESSP live sessions available on our page. Okay, you just got to go into the video section, scroll down to obviously the summertime, and I think there are 16 sessions, 18 sessions obviously now with these as well, or they are also over on YouTube. Don't forget to send us in your pictures this afternoon, and keep your eyes open in the week for a little bit of something extra we've got going on as well. All right, we'll be back on next Sunday. Just on that as well, guys, obviously at the minute there's not just ESSP, and this might sound a bit strange to you, it's not just ESSP doing these live sessions, okay. I know that Joe over at Sports First Coaching, I know Jared and Stuart at JNS, okay, and I know that Joe Godfrey at SC, they are all doing sessions at the minute now. Obviously you guys come to the sessions with me, which is great, but you guys need to be keeping as active as you can. So if you can make the most out of all these sessions that are online, then do it, okay. I'm not in competition with them, guys. ESSP aren't in competition with them. We're there to provide you guys with as much football as we can. So if you can get out there and you want any links to any other sessions that other people are doing, then just give me a shout and I'll point you in their direction. Okay, so well done, Luca. Well done. He's blowing a little bit now. Great work from everybody. Don't forget to send me over your pictures, and remember to have a chance of winning in that draw as well. You must have liked the Sweet Tooth page, which is on the ESSP page. If you scroll down a couple of posts, you must have liked that too. Thanks, guys, and enjoy your Sundays. Come on, England.